Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah, great to be here.
Today we're diving into real estate investing,
All right.
specifically for those of you looking to make some savvy moves.
Sounds good.
We've got a lot to unpack today,
Yeah.
from surprising market trends
Okay.
to a sneak peek at a luxurious new project that just hit my radar.
Nice.
And we're even going to touch on how AI is shaking things up in the industry.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be interesting.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, let's kick things off with a snapshot of the U.S. housing market.
Okay.
Now, I was actually pretty surprised to learn that home sales went up
Really?
by 3.4% in October, hitting an annual pace of 3.9 million transactions.
Wow. Okay.
But here's what I found really interesting.
What's that?
That increase happened while inventory also grew.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we saw a 0.7% bump in inventory.
So what does that tell us?
Well, it seems like the market is finding a pretty good balance
Okay.
between supply and demand,
Right.
which is actually good news for investors. Well, think about it this way.
Okay.
When demand is way higher than supply,
Yeah.
prices go through the roof.
Yeah, makes sense.
It becomes really hard to find a property that's going to give you a decent return.
Right.
But when the market's balanced like we're seeing now,
Yeah.
you have more breathing room.
Okay.
You can really evaluate your options,
Hmm.
compare properties, and make smarter investment decisions.
So it's all about having choices.
Exactly.
Okay, I like it.
And speaking of choices, there's this really cool new condo hotel project
Oh, yeah.
that caught my eye.
What is it?
It's W Hotels, branded,
Nice.
and it's in Pompano Beach, Florida.
Oh, wow. Beachfront.
Beachfront luxury at its finest.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, this project is a joint venture
Okay.
between BH and Related Group,
Mm.
and they are not messing around.
Okay, tell me more.
We're talking 373 units,
Wow.
ranging from studios to these massive penthouses with private terraces.
That's amazing.
And get this,
Wow.
all designed by the renowned Nichols architects.
Oh, wow. They do some amazing work.
Yeah, and what really stood out to me
What's that?
was Marriott's backing of this project.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty big deal, right?
Absolutely.
Like when a hospitality giant like Marriott puts their name on something,
Yeah,
it says a lot about the quality
for sure.
and the potential return on investment.
Right. They're not just going to back anything.
Exactly.
And plus, you've got the whole beachfront thing.
Right.
Beachfront properties tend to hold their value really well
That's true.
and often see strong appreciation over time.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So we've got a balanced market creating some good opportunities
Right.
and a luxurious beachfront development with some serious potential.
I like it.
But now let's talk about something that's really shaking things up in real estate.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Artificial intelligence.
AI.
Yeah, did you know that a whopping 75% of U.S. real estate agencies
Really?
are already using AI in some way?
Wow, that many.
Yeah, and 80% of agents are quickly adopting AI tools. So it's clear that AI is here to stay,
It seems like it.
and it's really changing the game.
In what ways?
Well, we're seeing AI being used for all sorts of things.
Like what?
Property valuations,
Okay.
market analysis,
Hmm.
even crafting personalized marketing campaigns.
Wow.
And even conducting virtual property tours?
It's really streamlining so many aspects of the process.
It is.
But here's where I get a little hesitant.
Okay.
We're talking about sensitive financial data,
Yeah.
personal information.
Right.
Are there enough safeguards in place to prevent misuse or breaches?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
Security is definitely paramount.
Yeah.
And actually, Michael Menard from Delta Media,
Mm.
he's been very vocal about advocating for stricter controls
Okay.
and strong security measures when it comes to AI and real estate.
That makes sense.
So it seems like AI is kind of a double-edged sword.
It does.
And an incredibly powerful tool
Yeah.
with huge potential benefits,
Right.
but also some valid concerns.
That need to be addressed head on.
Exactly.
So how should investors be thinking about AI?
Well, like with many technological advancements,
Yeah.
AI presents both amazing opportunities
Okay.
and potential risks.
Right.
The key is to be informed
Mm.
and understand both sides of the coin
Okay.
so you can make the most strategic decisions.
That makes sense.
For investors, this means recognizing how AI can be used
Yeah.
to gather better data,
Okay.
analyze market trends more precisely,
Yeah.
and ultimately find those hidden gems
Right.
that others might miss.
Okay, so AI is a tool
Yes.
that needs to be used wisely,
Absolutely.
but can definitely give investors an edge.
For sure. And speaking of hidden gems, let's wrap up this segment of our deep dive
Okay.
with a unique investment story that really caught my eye.
All right, I'm intrigued.
It involves Tillman Fertitta.
Okay, the Landry's guy?
Yeah, the mastermind behind that whole empire.
Okay.
Well, he recently acquired the iconic Keene's Steakhouse.
Oh, wow. Keen's.
Yeah, in Manhattan.
I've heard of that place.
It's legendary.
So how much did he shell out for it?
A cool $30 million.
$30 million for a steakhouse.
Yeah, but there's more to the story than meets the eye.
I was going to say.
Keene's isn't just a place to get a steak.
Right.
It's a New York City landmark. It's steeped in history and culture.
So it's more than just a restaurant.
Exactly. It's a piece of New York City history.
So Fertitta's not just buying a business.
Mm,
He's buying a piece of the city.
That's a pretty savvy diversification strategy.
It is.
It highlights an important point for investors.
What's that?
Real estate investment isn't limited to traditional properties.
Okay.
You know, like residential or commercial buildings.
Right.
Sometimes the most unique and valuable opportunities are in assets that have significant cultural or historical value.
Like Keen's.
Exactly.
That's a great point. It's like thinking outside the box.
Exactly. And that brings us to another exciting trend.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Sustainable and eco-friendly property.
Oh, yeah. This is something I've been hearing a lot about.
Yeah. It's a hot topic.
It seems like everyone's going green.
It's true. And real estate is no exception.
Well, what does that mean for investors?
Well, buyers are really starting to prioritize homes and buildings that are energy efficient
Makes sense.
and have a low environmental impact.
Right.
They want things like solar panels,
Okay.
energy efficient appliances,
Yeah.
sustainable building materials, even green roofs and rainwater harvesting systems.
So it's not just about being eco-conscious.
Nope.
It's about investing in properties that align with people's values
Exactly.
and their lifestyles.
And as an investor,
Yeah.
you can really tap into this growing demand
Okay.
by looking for properties with certifications
Okay.
like LEED.
LEED.
Yeah, it stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design.
Okay.
And it's a globally recognized symbol of sustainability.
So LEED certification is something to look for.
Definitely.
What else should investors be thinking about?
Location is huge.
Okay.
Properties in walkable neighborhoods. Yeah.
With access to public transportation,
Makes sense.
green spaces, and bike paths.
So it's all about creating a sustainable lifestyle.
Exactly. Not just an eco-friendly home.
Okay, so LEED certification and location.
Two key things to keep in mind.
Got it.
Now let's shift gears to another trend.
Okay.
The rise of co-living spaces.
Oh, I've heard about this.
Yeah, they're becoming super popular.
Especially with millennials and young professionals
Exactly.
who are looking for affordable housing in cities.
Right. It's a great way to combat the rising cost of living.
Yeah, and I imagine it creates a sense of community, too.
Absolutely. Co-living offers shared amenities
Okay.
and a real sense of belonging,
Yeah, that can be really appealing.
especially for people who are new to a city.
Right, or just starting out in their careers.
And for investors,
Yeah.
co-living spaces can offer really attractive returns,
Okay.
especially in high-demand areas
That makes sense.
where traditional rentals are scarce or expensive.
So co-living is definitely something to keep an eye on.
But I imagine there are some challenges, too.
Oh, for sure.
Like, how do you manage shared spaces and make sure everyone gets along?
That's where careful vetting comes in.
Okay.
You need to do your due diligence.
Right.
Consider the management company's experience and their strategies for community building.
So due diligence is key, as always.
Absolutely. And speaking of things that require due diligence,
Okay.
let's talk about virtual and augmented reality.
Oh, yeah. VR and AR.
It sounds futuristic,
Does.
but it's happening now.
And it's changing how we buy, sell, and experience properties.
Imagine taking a virtual tour of a home from your couch
That would be cool.
or using augmented reality
Yeah.
to visualize different furniture layouts
Oh, wow.
and design options.
That's pretty amazing.
So how does this benefit investors?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, for starters, you can showcase properties
Okay.
to potential buyers anywhere in the world
Oh, wow.
without them having to travel.
That's huge.
You can also create immersive marketing experiences
Mm-hmm.
that really capture the essence of a property.
So VR and AR are changing the game for marketing
They are.
and reaching potential buyers.
And it goes beyond that.
Okay.
Investors can use VR to train agents and even conduct property inspections remotely.
Wow, so it saves time and money.
Exactly.
This technology is really a game changer.
It is. And of course, we can't forget about blockchain.
Oh, yeah, blockchain. That's another one I keep hearing about.
Yeah, it's still early days.
Okay.
But it has the potential to revolutionize transactions
Really?
by increasing transparency, security, and speed.
I'll be honest, I'm still a bit fuzzy on the details.
Sure. So imagine a digital ledger
Okay.
that records every transaction
Yeah.
and piece of information related to a property.
Like what kind of information?
Everything ownership history permits inspections.
Wow. So everything's in one place.
And this ledger is decentralized.
Okay.
Meaning it's not controlled by any one entity.
Interesting.
And it's super secure because it's virtually impossible to tamper with.
So no more mountains of paperwork.
Right.
And back and forth with different parties.
Exactly. Blockchain can really streamline the whole process. And with smart contracts.
What are those?
They're self-executing contracts.
Okay.
Stored on the blockchain. You can automate a lot of the transaction.
Really?
Which reduces the need for intermediaries.
Okay.
And speeds up the closing process.
So blockchain could really simplify things.
It could, but there are still hurdles to overcome.
Like what?
Regulatory and legal issues.
That makes sense. New technologies always face some resistance.
It's true, but the early adopters,
Yeah.
the ones who embrace these technologies and learn how to use them effectively, they're going to have a big advantage.
Okay, so blockchain is something to watch closely.
Definitely.
We've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
Sustainability, co-living, VR, AR, blockchain.
It's clear that real estate is constantly evolving.
It is. And as investors, it's important to stay informed.
Absolutely.
And adapt to these changes.
And be willing to explore new frontiers.
That's the key to success in any industry.
For sure.
Wow. It's amazing to see how much the real estate market is changing.
It really is always adapting and evolving.
It feels like we've gone through a whole real estate course.
I know, right? We've covered so much.
From market trends to cutting-edge technology.
There's a lot for investors to think about.
So let's connect the dots.
Okay.
What are the key takeaways here?
All right. Well, first off, it's important to remember that the U.S. housing market is doing pretty well.
Okay.
Like we talked about earlier, that balance between supply and demand.
Right.
It creates a good environment for both buyers and investors.
Especially those looking for properties with good appreciation potential.
Exactly.
So there are definitely opportunities out there.
There are.
And we saw how luxury developments like that W Hotels project in Pompano Beach can offer some pretty nice returns.
For sure, especially for those looking for that luxury beachfront lifestyle.
Right, and a trusted brand name.
Exactly, and let's not forget about technology.
Right.
AI is really changing things in real estate.
It is.
From how properties are valued to how they're marketed.
But like we said, it's important to be aware of the risks too.
Absolutely, especially when it comes to data security and privacy.
It's a powerful tool, but it needs to be used responsibly.
Exactly. Finding that balance is key.
Right. Harnessing the power of technology.
Yes.
While still being mindful of the ethical considerations.
Now, when it comes to those emerging trends, we're seeing a lot of interest in sustainable and eco-friendly properties.
Makes sense.
And also the rise of co-living spaces.
Especially in those urban areas.
Exactly. These trends are driven by changing demographics and lifestyles.
So it's like a whole new generation of real estate.
It is, and it presents some unique opportunities for investors.
And speaking of innovation, we can't forget about virtual and augmented reality.
Oh, yeah. VR and AR have so much potential.
And blockchain, too.
It's an exciting time to be involved in real estate.
It really is. So much is happening.
So let's shift our focus to you.
Okay.
What does all this mean for your investment strategy?
Right. Let's get practical. What are some actionable steps?
Well, the first thing is to define your investment goals.
Okay.
Are you looking for short-term gains or long-term appreciation?
Right.
Do you want passive income or a more hands-on approach?
So know yourself as an investor.
Exactly. And then you can develop a strategy that aligns with your goals, your risk tolerance, your resources, and your timeline.
So it's all about having a plan.
It is. And just as important is doing your research.
Of course.
Analyze market trends, evaluate property values, and assess the risks.
Knowledge is power.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to ask for help.
Right.
Talk to real estate agents, financial advisors, other professionals.
They can provide some valuable insights.
They can. And remember, diversification is key.
Okay.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right. Spread those investments out.
Oh, exactly. Different property types, different locations, different asset classes.
That's a good reminder.
And finally, stay informed.
Stay up to date on everything.
The real estate landscape is always changing.
So keep your finger on the pulse.
Exactly. Market trends, technology advancements, emerging opportunities.
The more you know, the better.
It's true.
Well, there you have it, folks. A deep dive into real estate investing.
We covered a lot of ground.
We explored the market dynamics, the emerging trends, the essential strategies.
It's a complex world out there.
It is, but with the right knowledge.
And a bit of adaptability.
You can achieve your investment goals.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this real estate adventure.
It was a pleasure.
We hope you learned something new.
And that you're excited about the possibilities.
Remember, real estate can be a rewarding investment.
It can.
But it takes time, effort, and a willingness to learn.
That's the key.
Happy investing, everyone.
See you next time.